Welcome, everybody, to the MedHow at Home Guardian Angel program, the training program. We are thrilled to have you here today, and Tracy and I are in my house doing this, and we are excited that you would like to become a MedHow at Home Guardian Angel. The Guardian Angel program was run by the Cove for many years, I think 25 years or something like that. And then MedHow at Home took it over a few years ago. And we have about 20 guardian angels now. And these people have a one-on-one relationship with some of our members, and that they're very special people in our minds, all the guardian angels. They really help some of our most vulnerable members. And so thank you.
Yeah, it is, as Deirdre said, it's one of our favorite programs. It's especially effective for folks who have been sliding into isolation, to just have that one-on-one regular connection with somebody. So thank you so much for being interested in being that person in someone's life. And there are some things to think about so that it's a fulfilling experience for everybody. So
we're going to share the screen with you and show you a few slides.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Welcome. We did the welcome.
Right. So we put this one first because we feel like confidentiality is something that is so imperative with our Guardian Angel program. You have, when you become a Guardian Angel, you develop a very special relationship with this person. And trust is the cornerstone of the relationship. We just can't emphasize enough that, this person is trusting you to keep all their information very private, not to be shared with anybody. You could tell somebody that you're a guardian angel, but we would really ask that you not share their name or any information that they share with you, with anybody else. So, we do live in a really small community, and word gets out really fast. So we just want to stress how important it is to be a trustworthy person to your member.
Exactly.
And you're a different level of friend. You become really close friends, but you also have to establish boundaries with your member and trust.
Yeah, and we'll be talking more about it. And there are times, because you are sort of our eyes and ears for folks, that we ask that you do come to us if you see some things that signal a shift or a change in somebody's safety or something like that. And we will hold all of that information in confidence as we work to get the support that that member might need. So we'll move on. And I really like Brené Brown's sort of multifaceted definition of trust. She told this great story about her daughter in her third grade class, and that, knowing if you could trust someone is like putting, every time somebody does something to show their trustworthiness, it's like a little penny goes into the jar. And these are some of the different ways to establish trust. So one is just maintaining boundaries, and that can be difficult. And we're going to come back and talk a lot more about boundaries, because that's actually no small thing. So it's just about following, boundaries are a little bit about following our word and asking people to respect our word that we have set. Well, I guess reliability is also following through with your word. If you say you're going to be there at a certain time, then please try to follow through with that. If something shifts or changes, then communicate about that. And accountability, if something happens in a relationship, that that you'll be willing to go through the repair that needs to happen, to just reestablish any trust if something gets miscommunicated or broken along the way. And then the vault piece is that, that's that holding all the information to yourself. Integrity is about, not taking the easy way out, but recognizing what's the right thing to do here, even if it's not the easy thing to do, and choosing that. And then non-judgment. I think that's such an important piece with the guardian angels, is just we're not there to fix, we're not there to judge anybody. We're bearing compassionate witness to people. And sometimes these folks are really struggling with complex situations. And so we're there to serve people. We're not there to, quote unquote, help, really. Sometimes we get in trouble with our helper who thinks that we know best for another person. So we're there as a companion. And then generosity. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Anything else on this? Yeah, this BRAVING, braving, it has to do with allowing vulnerability, and that all these components really need to be there before people feel safe to be vulnerable.
Right. When to file a report. So as a guardian angel, you will be reporting once a month to MedHout Home. You'll send me an email with your hours and your mileage, and then any notes that you have. But if you see something that changes that you are wondering about, perhaps you notice that the person is not as well kept as they used to be, or there's rotting food in the refrigerator, or they seem more depressed than they normally do, or anything like that, anything that's not right, we would want you to call MedHout Home right away and just, let us know your concerns, and then maybe we can reach out to the person or send one of our Lookout Coalition people over there to check on them, because we just don't know always what's going on in people's lives, and things are changing all the time. And so, just remember that. And of course, if you witness any sort of abuse, any marks or anything on the person, you'd let us know. Let's see. And we have, as I said, the Lookout Coalition, which is a group of retired nurses and doctors who, as a service of MedHout Home, will go and visit the person if there seems to be a problem. So anything that's unusual, we would want you to report back to us.
And I think sometimes people have felt like, am I reaching the trust of my person by coming to us? And we do work to uphold, a very general, neutral approach. We don't come in and say, hey, we heard from so-and-so that, you haven't been showering lately. No, we do check in. Deirdre checks in frequently on people anyway. And so it's just that we have now over 320 members. And so we really rely on everybody looking out for each other. And so that's what this is about. This is about the web of support and making sure that people aren't falling between the cracks.
So family sometimes, or, this could be a possibility that somebody will give you some information about their family, that maybe they want you to call their daughter about a situation. You're not getting along with your daughter, and let's say you're a counselor or something. Oh, will you please call my daughter and tell her that that you're a counselor, and that you're going to be the mediator, and a situation like that. No, you would not call their family. You would just call MedHout Home if you had any concerns about any family dynamics that they share with you. Just let again, there's that boundary. You say that, it's not my place to make that phone call or to
Mhm.
get involved into your family situation,
Mhm.
you just would call MedHout Home and let us figure it out. And then we
Right.
would get back to you, let you
Right.
know how it's going.
Right. And if there is, you know, an opening that somebody does want assistance with something, then yeah, you might be involved in the conversation of getting that person to the right resources. Maybe it would be somebody over at room one who
Mhm.
could be a mediator in a conflict or something like that. But yeah, your job as a guardian angel is that of the companion and not a professional person. And if for some reason you do feel like you need to contact the family, then go ahead and let uh, Deirdre know, and Deirdre can make that call.
Emergencies. So let's say you went to their door and nobody answers. Look through the window, ring the doorbell, try to call them on the phone. You know, you could even check the door, open the door and just peek in and see if they're on the floor. They might be, or maybe they might be just next door having tea. They might have forgotten that you were coming.
Right.
But call us right away to let us know. And we're going to give you our phone numbers so that you have them in your phone in case there is a situation that you feel like they are in danger or that you need help. And if it's anything emergency, any emergency, you would just call 911 first and then call us. You know, if you did open the door and they were on the floor, you would call 911 right off the bat and then
Yeah.
you'd call us.
Right. But it is true. I've seen this happen time and time again, especially for folks who might be experiencing cognitive change and not realizing it, that they might have forgotten their appointment with you, and which does not constitute an emergency, but it does constitute a need to locate them and make sure everybody is okay. So again, if you know, just reiterating, if you find that, or if you're with them and then suddenly something happens and they become unconscious, don't try to move them. It looks like unless there's a fire, and just call 911 and then let us know, and let us help get the support for you and for your for the member. And if the person is conscious,
Again, if they can talk to you, then that's fine. If they can get up using the help of your knee and they're able to get up by themselves, then certainly, you know, that's fine. You can, but if they cannot get up at all, you know, you would call 911, ask the person, you know, what happened, where does it hurt, and things like that. But you really should just call 911 and MAH, MedHout Home, if they cannot get up by themselves.
yeah.
Make them feel comfortable, you know, get a pillow if you can, blanket if there is one available.
Also, if your person has complex health issues, we do offer that we will pay for you to be trained at AeroMet How at their CPR first aid, and that's not a bad idea, just to give you a sense of confidence that you would know how to respond. And again, just a reminder that in an emergency situation, if AeroMet How does respond, it may be a case where your client, our member, doesn't want to get in that ambulance ride, even if you feel like that's really the best thing, and this is their right to make that choice. So.
And you should call MedHout Home and let us know too.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Absolutely.
So boundaries, we've talked a little bit about this. Avoid burnout by knowing your boundaries. We have some guardian angels that go well beyond any expectation. And that's okay, I guess, if you, as long as you are protecting yourself and not getting burned out and knowing where that threshold is for burnout. And most of us do know what that is. You need to be able to say, no, I can't do that at this time. I have another commitment, letting us know if your client or your member is, asking you to do more than the commitment. The commitment is actually 1 hour a week per month. So that's 4 hours a total. People do spend more time than that, but that's the, minimum that we ask. And just take care of yourself. That's really, really important. And setting the limits and laying ground rules right from the get-go, like letting your person know that this is what you can give is 1 hour per week per month. And that's just, but if you are comfortable with doing more and you want to, that's fine. But just make sure you communicate those expectations with your person and stick to those commitments. Make sure that, if you're going to do this, that once a week, let's say on Fridays at 3 o'clock, you commit that that's your time you're going to be together, then be sure that that's what you're going to do. And if there's a change, then you communicate that. Now, we do have a lot of guardian angels that go on vacations and they're gone for, a couple of months at a time. And that's okay. Sometimes we can just make sure we have a lot of extra support for that person while you're away. But just communicating any kind of changes. And then, the giving out your personal number, just wait a little bit until you feel really comfortable and you make sure it's going to be a good fit for you and the member before you feel before you give out your number, so that there's not an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, because I think in the past there have been times when the recipient maybe overused their guardian angel's phone number, calling for every little thing. And so that's where this point comes from.
And once you give your number out and you find that your member is calling you all the time and you don't really want that situation, if you feel comfortable telling them, then that's fine. But also we could let them know that.
Yeah. And the other piece too is you might see things that this person would really benefit from, like cleaning their kitchen or their bathroom for them or whatnot. But, if that is not your cup of tea, really the most important role of the guardian angel is being present for someone and listening to them and connecting with them and speaking with them. And if you can use your powers of just persuasion with your client, we could put out a service request for someone else to go in and do that kind of help in somebody's house.
So it's really important from the get-go that you and the member know what you're going to be doing. So if cleaning is not your thing, that's fine. Maybe you decide that you're just going to do walks with that person. But if they need cleaning, like Tracy said, we can put in a service request and have somebody else go over and do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is a really helpful thing in terms of just gauging what's happening with the guardian angel relationship, if it's working out or not, to just please at the beginning of the month or the end of the month, let Deirdre know how much time you spent, what the miles were that you've been driving, and just any little notes. If it's something of a more sensitive nature, feel free to give us a call and talk about it over the phone. But it's important to us to just stay in touch with you, make sure things are going well with you, make sure things are going well with your client, and we will have at How at Home staff. Kathy has been doing that for the last couple rounds of this, calling all of our guardian angels and their clients and just checking in, seeing how it's going, if it's a good fit. You know, sometimes it's not the greatest fit, and that's okay. You don't have to stay in a situation that doesn't feel right for you. And hopefully you won't take it personally if for some reason, you know, your client needs maybe something a little bit different in their guardian angel as well. That does happen. And it's okay. It's not the most comfortable thing, but it's better for everybody to have a good experience and a good positive match. So, but for the most part, it's pretty amazing the
Yeah.
relationships that get formed. And the neat thing is it's almost always with people that you would never have in your life
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah. I've talked to a lot of guardian angels that, you know, they just feel so much more comfortable just being with one person and getting to know one person than doing a service request here and doing a service request there. They just, their comfort level is being a good buddy for somebody and being there, being an ear and knowing that they're making a big difference in somebody's life.
Absolutely. And also, it was at one point required that guardian angels would do the supplemental trainings when it was part of the Cove. But we just encourage you to partake in any of the supplemental trainings that we offer, which, you know, they change. We've done a training on suicide awareness and that kind of thing. So if there's anything that comes up that you would like a supplemental training on, come to us and ask us, and we can look for a professional in the region to either do a Zoom or an in-person. And we have a lot of backlog of those trainings as well. And then, as I said before, we'll pay for you to do an AeroMet-How first aid CPR. And we also have trainings on how to be present with someone living with dementia in a way that's fulfilling for both you and your person. Anything? Yeah. Thank you so much for being willing to do this. And again, you know, I think that the first visit is a really important one. And just coming in with a lot of curiosity and questions and being willing to sit back and listen
And knowing that we're here for you if you ever need anything or want advice or anything like that. We're here for you. So.
Yeah, and that clarity of knowing what you're interested in offering.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you.
We'll go back to our real faces. Thanks so much again for being willing to do this and watching this little video.
Bye-bye. And